Welcome to my broadcast here in YouTube land. I'm using the digital internet to continue this very important art and to encourage people to continue weaving and continue learning. And I know that we can't get together with this pandemic in classroom or lectures or even apprenticeships. So who knows how long this pause is going to be. So I thought, because I'm in the middle of a Ravenstail robe, and then shortly I will be hanging and doing a Nahin Chilkat robe, that this is a perfect opportunity to share that art with interested weavers of the Northwest Coast, Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian, or interested collectors who are people who will take and invest in our art. So I'm trying to demonstrate the weaving techniques as well as convey history and other cultural elements in relation to our textiles of the Northwest Coast. So thank you for discovering me, and if you subscribe, you'll get notice when I do publish. I usually publish either or both Monday and Friday, and my broadcasts usually are between 10 to 20 minutes long. I'm going to try to standardize that a little bit better, but anyway, welcome. And today I am continuing to work with the 2-strand, 2-color geometric patterns of the Northwest Coast. So I will hopefully take you to how I start a row and talk you through the borders, and then also continue on that row through the middle where I'm doing, like I say, the 2-color 2-strand technique of the Ravenstail. And if you subscribe and continue to watch me, in the next month I will be also hanging a Nahin robe, and that doesn't happen very often. So I hope you join me and continue joining me on this YouTube broadcast. Hello. So I'm going to start here on this side. I divide my blue exactly in half, making sure those ends are even, because it'll make a difference on the other side. So I have divided that in half, and now I'm going to put a lark's head here. So before I start anything, if you see that there's space here, and that needs to have a lark's head there. There's several rows that I started that now I need a lark's head. The lark's head is a short piece of weft, divided in half, make the ends equal, and then you put the loop behind the side cords, continuing to make sure that the ends are even. And then there you go. Okay, now I'm going to do something a little different. Usually you would start here and weave all the way across your object, but I'm going to be producing 2 rows with my weaving here. So I need to produce 2 rows here on this blue edge. So I'm entering it there on the 2. Then I'm going to enclose 1, and that will break the pair above. Now I'm going to enclose both those side cords, because you never break the side cords. They're always paired, never split. So I'm going to do a Nahin turn, which is This one is over that edge one, and then behind one, or no, two in this case, always behind two, because because like I said, you do not separate those side cords, and they're never included in any kind of pattern count either. So I've enclosed two, I will enclose one, and now I have done 2 rows in that little area of the start. Now I'm going to get the black wefts, and I divide it in half, making sure that the ends are even. And then I am going to take and loop those blues, just like as easy as that. And then these blues go to the back because I am going to be weaving black forward. So the blues go to the back. I don't notice I didn't do any twisting. Then this one, top one, and this top blue are the ones that I first handle. And I'm going to take and bring those blues, the blue weft to the back. These other ones I'm just ignoring. Just leave them behind for now. And again, here. And I send the blue to the back. I hope you notice that there is some more copper that I've used for this, the middle of this pattern. And so I'd also like to read you another story that has copper in it. And this is from the Tlingit Myths and Texts, collected in 1908 and published in 1909 by John Swanton. I'm going to start in the middle of a story because those stories can be quite long. People kept throwing the leavings of food on top of their house. They always called him the man living here. They would laugh at him. Whenever the little boy ran out among the boys who were playing, they said, "Ah, garbage man." Now he said to his mother, "Make a bow and arrows for me." And after she had made them, he went out shooting just at daybreak. He shot all kinds of things. And when he was getting to be a man, he kept going up close by the lake. After he had gone up there many times, something came up quickly towards him. Its mouth was red. After it had done so twice, he asked his mother, "What is that, mother?" Then he prepared a new spear. "When it opens its mouth for you and puts its 4 feet up on land, run down to it. It is your father's canoe." So he went there, and it opened its mouth for him. His mother had said, "Shoot it in the mouth." And when he had shot it, it was heard to say, "Caw," like a raven. It was as if its seats had been all cut off. It was a copper canoe in which were wide seats. The canoe was nothing but copper and broke entirely up. Therefore, the night he carried it into his house to his mother. No person knew of it. Now he began making a big house out of copper. He would pound out spears and bracelets under the branches. In those days, there was no iron or copper. He also pounded out copper plates. Then he set them all around the inside of the house. When they threw garbage upon his house, they kept calling him Pounding Chief. After he had finished the house, there were plenty of copper plates where he kept pounding out. When they laughed at him and he ran outside, they would say, "Ah, garbage man." There was a chief's daughter whom they would let no one marry. After people from all places had tried to get her, he prepared himself. He dressed himself at night. He took a piece of twisted copper. He knew where the chief's daughter slept. He poked the woman through a hole with his copper roll, and the woman caught hold of it. She smelt it. She did not know what the copper was, no person in the world having ever seen copper. Then he called to her, saying, "Come outside." And she went outside to him. "Go down to my house with me. With me you shall stay," he said to her. She did not know whence the man came. The man that used to be called Dirty was only going to the beach with her. Just before she touched the door, it opened inward. The copper door shone in her face. Whence were all those coppers that stood around inside of the house? Then he married her in his house. By and by, the people began searching for that woman. They missed her for many days. 2 days were passed in searching for her. Then her father said to a slave, "Search below here." The slave searched there for her. And when he had looked into the house, the slave backed out. It began shining in his face. Then the woman's husband from inside the house said to him, "Come in. Do not tell about my house," he said. "Say garbage man has married her." When he came into the house, he told about it. He said, "Garbage man has married her." Then they started to rush out. Her mother cried, "My daughter!" Then they rushed to his door. They kicked into the house, under the house made of branches. "Damn," it sounded. It shone out into her face, and they started back from the house door. Where was their anger against him? Then she became ashamed. After they got home, he sent for his father-in-law, and he put 8 coppers on him because he had married his daughter. Then they threw the branch house away, letting the copper shine out. But his father had done this purposely to him in order to help him. So even now, when a man is poor, something comes to help him. So even this shows how valuable copper was at the place where this happened. Even lately, a copper plate used to cost 2 slaves. It has since become an everlasting thing. For it says, i.e., it is now used there all the time. So that was the story about the copper. And the reason why I have put copper on this mostly blue and black robe is that copper oxidizes into this lovely blue, and we used to use copper oxide for these robes to create that beautiful blue. So I really wanted the copper to be an important part of this blue and black robe. So I also am using the white as an accent, but I'm really enjoying using that copper, and the thread is real copper. So I'm happy to have found the embroidery thread to use on this robe. So thank you so much for listening to me and continuing to come and see the progress that's happening. Right now I'm doing the enclosing 4 warps, and on this particular row I am taking and bringing up the black forward, and then I go into the blue, and then I bring the blue forward again, and then I switch to the black, and then I take and do it another, the blue to the back and the black forward. So this is a pattern that, and if you'll see that there's another pair of the wefts waiting to be picked up and carried across also. So anyway, this is progressing pretty good. I'm more than halfway through this robe, so that's pretty exciting. So anyway, thank you, Hawa, for joining me.